So now I would like to talk about how I made my first agamograph. And agamographs are really making an agamograph is a nice activity that helps you kind of realize and blend or put together two differing aspects of one situation. And the point is that you pick up a situation that you want to reflect about, and you kind of identify two aspects of it, and then you either draw, paint, or find two pictures that to you represent these two aspects of the situation, and then you just cut them in strips and glue them together, one after the other. So the resulting product is the agamograph, where from one perspective you see one of the pictures, and from the other perspective you see the other picture, and from the front it doesn't make much sense, but you know that to you it represents that situation with both aspects that are kind of intertwined in that situation. So my agamograph has two pictures, as I already tried to show you. I hope that you can follow. It's a sunflower, and this is some kind of complicated old-fashioned machine that I don't know what it is for, possibly some kind of old press, I don't know. And to me these pictures represent two boys whom I was asked to tutor because they both wanted to get enrolled to a popular local high school, secondary school, but that school required successful passing of entrance exams, and only a limited number of pupils, of students, could get enrolled. So these two boys who I tutored were very different. The first boy, let's call him Peter, he was used to being successful at school. He was an achiever. He was also quite self-confident, and he was quite mature and advanced for his age, not including just what he knew. He was very smart, but also he had acquired quite advanced learning strategies. So he was in a very good position to pass the exam, and he felt pretty confident that he'll come up at the top of the long list of students. On the other hand, the second boy, let's call him Paul, was rather timid, not so confident. He was used to failure in class, and but he was not frustrated. He, was prepared to work, do some hard work, and see what happens. So the tutoring was going on for 6 months, and during that time we did quite a few mock tests, and Peter, the self-confident boy, usually got scored really high. But when he missed some points, he was quite frustrated. And when the tasks were too easy for him, he had this kind of dismissive attitude. And then as the time went, he even skipped some of our tutoring classes. On the other hand, Paul, he took part in all the classes. At the beginning, he scored, quite low, but he didn't lose his hope. He just, because he was so used to being a kind of mediocre student, so it was not a big deal for him that he didn't score as high as Peter did. And then what happened after the 6 months? The important day D came and the examination took place, and you know what? Actually, Peter, the self-confident one, he did not fail the exam, but he got much fewer points than Paul did. He didn't score very high, and he did not get enrolled to that school, and he just couldn't believe why all that happened. And Paul, he just scored the sufficient number of points more than Peter, and he got enrolled to the school. And so in my agamograph, the sunflower represents the self-confident Peter, and the complicated old-fashioned machine represents Paul. And the lesson learned from this activity and from this teaching situation for me is the following, that first of all, sometimes, or let's put it like this, my husband always told me that to be successful means 10% of talent and 90% of hard work. And I kind of did not believe him. I thought maybe a 50%, and I believed kind of subconsciously that smart kids, advanced kids, mature kids, mostly outperform the slower ones, and that's their destiny. And to tell the truth, when I started tutoring the two boys, I could never somehow guess what the ending will be. So we as teachers should not be, or should take care to avoid all sorts of biases, and basically take all students on the equal level, because anything can happen in life, and hard work is perhaps more important than talent. And this is just a lesson that I learned from making my agamograph. And that's another thing, I'm a kind of very restless type of personality, and I really enjoyed measuring and cutting the two pictures into equally shaped stripes and putting them together. That precise work helped me to somehow slow down and concentrate, and I enjoyed that quite a lot as well. So that's my experience.